So this is just a quick video to show you how I use self-mastery in order to manage my life. So I work as a teacher, and as you can see, I track some of my key metrics, so the number of lectures that I give in a day. For me, giving a lecture requires a lot of preparation and forethought, so I consider it a pretty heavy-duty task. That's why I give it 20 points. Um, so let's say I were recording a lecture right now, which in a sense I am. If I were to give myself the points for that, one thing you'll notice is that my total score changes by more than just 20 points when I do that. And that happens because I have my teaching skill linked to three different attributes: wisdom, intelligence, and charisma. And I also have it linked to the teacher class. So to show you what I'm talking about, open up this nature tree, and you can see that I have basically the D&D attribute system set up. So you've got your strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligent, wisdom, and charisma. One thing I really like about the system is that it kind of shows you what stats you prioritize based on the different skills that you work on if you assign skills to all your stats. So it seems like lately my focus has been on intelligence and wisdom, and of the physical stats, I value dexterity the most. Not too surprising to me. And I've also got my classes that I have going on, so mostly haven't been much of a lover lately, but been on my ninja and teaching game. Um, Alright, so let's say I wanted to look at my body weight exercise skills because I want to start doing a circuit there. So this search bar lets me really quickly jump to different different things I want to work on. So let's say I was working on pull-ups, jump to that. And the basic idea behind self-mastery is that every leaf, which is basically the endmost child in a tree, you want to be a concrete skill that you can work on. And branches, like these guys up here, you want to be general categories, like categories of a skill. So for my martial arts practice, I've got pretty big tree built up. Not enormous. This is still going to grow a lot over time. And one thing I want to emphasize is that the growth of your tree will happen very naturally over time. It doesn't start out being so overwhelming like this. And in fact, it shouldn't ever be overwhelming to you, because one of the benefits of the tree is that on every level you can prioritize based on their priority. So I could move this around. I like where it is right now. But within each of these things, if I wanted to emphasize my legs more, I could put the pistols further up. And you can basically plan out your day by going through each level of your tree and just going by the order that your skills are lined up in. And you can just move any skill that you want to practice earlier further up the tree, and just reverse the tree. So let's maybe sign out of my account and let's pretend that I'm a new user. So let's create an account, and I'll be like buffdude@gmail, and let's make up a password. Okay, so this is all that a new user starts out with. Not too much. So let's say that as this new user, I don't necessarily need to keep these three top level categories that are pre-filled in. So let's say I didn't want any of these, and I want to start out with just a very basic Cartesian duality. So I'm going to have body and mind, and maybe this new user, they want to start working on their body. So maybe they also create a division like upper body, lower body, and they start adding their exercises in there. So this might be like squat. Yeah, maybe just squats. And this guy will do like pull-ups. He doesn't care about different types of pull-up yet. and maybe push-ups. And even here, if this is all you have for a tree, it's still already useful. You can start logging these push-ups right away. Do some pull-ups, and let's go back to mine because this doesn't have any data. I never sign out of this thing. So that's embarrassing. There it is. So I want to point out a few things about the history. So for one thing, notice these brackets right here. This number right here represents the number of points I got yesterday. This number right here is the average number of points I get in a day. So if I do a pistol and it brings me above the average, that turns green. And then if I do got as many points as I did yesterday, that turns green. So this is a really useful motivational strategy. Basically, every day you want to match yourself from yesterday, and you probably want to beat the average too. So any skills you're actively developing, you have a really nice, easy system for seeing that you're progressing, because if you're progressing, then you're able at least to keep up with yourself yesterday, if not exceed. And of course, you've got all these stats over here, like the total number of points you've ever gotten doing this, the record number of points you've gotten in an hour doing this, the record in a day, etc. If you wanted to, if you're a developer, you can jump in and you can use parts of the exposed API. So I can look at the current tree that I'm focused on, and there's actually a huge amount of data that you can get here. Let's look at this date object. So every single event, every time you log, that gets stored in here, and you can basically look by year, by month, by day, and then by hour, and see how many times you did something during that span. So for those of you who like data, you could probably crawl through that and create your own cool visualization. I like to keep things pretty minimal, so this is all I'm going to display. And that's pretty much a quick tour of self-mastery. One thing I will note is that is how to link things to skills. So let's go back to that buff dude account. Okay, so let's say that he did want to start like some kind of attributes thing, and he wants like a strength attribute. Now maybe he also wants like a endurance attribute. So he's really focused on these body stats, and let's say he's got some other exercise in here which he considers an endurance thing. So we could have like running. Now, there's a lot of different ways you could do this. One thing you could say is that anything that you're doing on the body, so if you type an @ it'll start auto-completing. And this is how you link to another skill. So now, sorry, I should have saved that. So strength. So now strength is everything that happens on upper body is linked to strength. So if I do a pull-up, not only do I get points in pull-ups, but I also get points in strength. Okay, so another thing to notice is that I could assign endurance running. Oh, nope, I did not want to do that. I wanted to assign endurance to running. Now that's pretty funny. Cause the infinite loop there. Um, so there's definitely some corner cases here still. When I'm using it for myself, make a lot of assumptions about what a user will and won't do. So I guess one of the assumptions I'm making is that they won't cause a loop like this. It's pretty funny. Good to notice this. All right, so I think that concludes things. The important thing that I would note about using this application is that you want to start your tree out nice and small, manageable. You want to just get in a habit of doing a few things in it, and then every day you can maybe add a new thing to it and start building that as a habit. And gradually over time, the tree will expand and expand and expand, and you'll find that you're cultivating a really beautiful life inside of your tree.